it's not going anywhere. We're staying in there. We're fighters. There's no way you're gonna kick us out. You have to drag us out dead if you want to get rid of wrestling, in my opinion. It's just a tough sport. You can't get rid of tough people. That's how it is. Wrestling breeds tough champions. It's the best sport in the world, and I wish it was more popular. I wish it got on TV more. But if you come to wrestle and you get good, and it takes discipline to get good, so you're gonna learn so many good traits from it, and people are gonna know when you go in job interviews and they say you're a wrestler. They're gonna know that you're disciplined. They're gonna know that you have respect. They're gonna know that you're time organized, because you can't be an elite wrestler without having those traits. It just reflects so good on you outside of wrestling. Wrestling helped me a great deal. I actually didn't want to wrestle when I was younger. My uncle took me to go watch my cousin wrestle. It was an off-season tournament, and he actually put me in the tournament. And I remember trying to fight the kid because I didn't know what to do. I hadn't practiced. I remember throwing up because I was just so exhausted. And I hated it for like the first month, and then I got hooked. I fell in love with it because it really is best of the best. You have no excuses. You can't blame anybody in football or baseball. You can blame one play on another person. In wrestling, it's all you. You're the only two out on that mat. Either he's better than you or you're better than him. There's nothing you can do from it. So once he put me in it, I got addicted, and it was a good addiction because the rest of my family, my immediate family, isn't the greatest. I don't know how to say it, but basically, I'm the only male in my immediate family that's over 18 that hasn't been arrested. I'm the first person in my family to ever go to college. This year, I'm gonna be the first person in my family to ever graduate college. Wrestling taught me those things. Coach Todd Harris, who was my high school wrestling coach, taught me those things. When I was my senior year, when I went through like the worst personal things in my life, he was there for me. He told me to use this as a catalyst to build up my life, to get a fresh start, and to use this as my therapy. Because this is the only place where I can let go of every anger that the outside world has put on me and be able to do anything I want and it be legal, basically. Wrestling, you can take out all your aggression on somebody and have it be legal. I could club you, I could hit you, I could slam you, I could punch you as hard as I want, and it's legal. I'd love for my athletes to go on and continue college. A lot of them that come in here, they come in here first because they've seen UFC, Bellator. They just love MMA, and they want to start off like, cause what Joe Rogan and all the commentators in MMA always say is, if you want to be a good fighter, be a good wrestler. Learn where you can take the fight. If you're a wrestler, you can take the fight to the ground, or you can stop it from going into the ground. That's where the ultimate control is. That's why a lot of people want to wrestle. That's why I get a lot of students that come in their 8th grade year or freshman year. Oh, I want to be an MMA fighter one day. We have a gym in San Bernardino that we go to here and there during the off season to practice with their youth team. It's called Adrenaline MMA. Great youth team from 7th grade down, just monsters, nails for kids. So a lot of them want to go there to fight eventually. They see Bobby Green, who wrestled at A.D. Miller, local IE kid from Fontana. He's in the UFC. So they see a lot of local heroes from wrestling go on to pursue MMA. I'd love that eventually, but I want all my kids to go to college, get a degree, because you never know when an injury is going to come and just end a sports career. You always have to prepare for an injury. I read an article somewhere. It talked about a basketball player. He couldn't read, couldn't do anything, couldn't do basic math, but he was one of the top prospects, and his teachers would just pass him. Get into college, his first year, he blew out his knee. Couldn't read, couldn't play basketball. That was his life. They crippled him by letting him pass on. If you don't have a backup plan, only 1%, 2% make it to get paid from athletics. There are so many athletes that don't get paid, that never will. In all honesty, everyone can't be great. Everyone can't be elite. It's just life. There's genetics. There's falls. You're just not going to do it. So you need a backup plan. Education is the best backup plan.
I worry about a lot of injuries, but you have to just pass through it, and that's when you become mentally and physically strong, and you have to just be capable of withstanding that pain and going through the match. You have to be capable of withstanding any physical pain and mental pain, because when you're in wrestling, there's a lot of things that can happen on the mat, and you have to be strong enough to fight back too.
North Rialto is a little better than Southside Rialto, where we live in, where the school's located. So they're always able to get bodies out. The only problem with us is just getting kids in the room. We just can't get kids that want to come wrestle, that want to do athletics. Like the football team had, I think, 18 people. So there's just kids don't want to do anything that's hard for them in our area. They just want to go out and basically get into stuff that they shouldn't get into because it's fun, it's because it's what it's encouraged in our area.
Anything on that? No. You're lazy. Yeah. Just like Thomas, I'm gonna come here every day. It's been one practice.
It should be going to set. I'm pretty sure the guys that he doesn't have a ride. No, he doesn't have eligibility to accept. He's a junior now. You can't. No, I'm saying go just.
Oh,
practice.
to practice.
I feel like I could still get that. No, you're saying now it's not a sit. It's just
Yeah, we get a lot of kids that come from broken homes. You can see it get hard for them. You can see a lot of kids that are just poor. They can't afford a lot of things. We'll try to do accompany things. I have like 5 pairs of shoes that are just mine, so I'll loan them out to them for the year. We try to fundraise as much as we can so they don't have to pay for anything throughout the year. I think the hardest thing was we had 2 wrestlers. One was their brother and sister, so one girl, one boy, and then their parents were going through the divorce, probably the middle of the year, and their mom left, and you can see it was really heartbreaking for them. They basically had mental breakdowns during practice. It was really hard to watch, but I was lucky enough for them to come to me for comfort, because I'm not afraid to share my personal stories, because in Rialto, no one really comes from a perfect story. It's a lot of broken homes, it's a lot of tragedy. So I come from a broken home and never really had a consistent father figure. He'd always be in and out, whether in jail or just decided he'd want to be in my life at that certain point in time. So for them, it was the opposite. It was their mom that left, and it was hard. But luckily for me, I came from the same background where I was able to help them, tell them what I did to comfort myself, and how wrestling basically saved me, how this was like my therapy, and how they should use it the same. You could see a big difference when it comes to school districts, when it comes to schools. Like I had a kid that just transferred to Yucaipa. He told me himself that it's completely different. Everything's so nice. You can see, they say basically you look down on people a lot more in Yucaipa, or any rich area is going to obviously look down on someone that isn't well off or come from a great background. Rialto there's not a lot of rich people. There's not really any rich people, honestly. Everything comes with tragedy, it seems like in Rialto. Everyone knows somebody that's either a gang member, has arrested, been shot, stabbed, whatever. It's all really bad. So when you go to that area, they know nothing about it, so they can't relate. When you're from a certain area that has bad things happen, you're prepared for it. You're used to it. It almost becomes second nature, as sad as it is. When you go out to a nice established area, you don't see that. So people can't relate to you.
circle, both hands, attack. 2-on-1.
I've had CIF champs, I've had a Masters champ, numerous state qualifiers. I think one of my happiest was when the kid named Alex Garcia, he's the one that had the 4.4 GPA, just brilliant kid, hardworking kid. He was not very good his freshman year or his sophomore year. He was JV both years. He just couldn't beat anybody above him. And then finally his junior year, it just clicked. You could always see his potential, but you just need mat time in wrestling. You just need experience. And then finally his junior year, he gained some weight, was able to push some people, finally made varsity, and just had a decent year, pretty good year, made it CIF, second in league. Went to CIF, did decent. In the off season, he busted his butt. This is why he's probably my favorite memories, because he just worked so hard. Not even in just the wrestling room, outside in the classroom, at home. He would go mow lawns to be able to go compete in off-season tournaments. Off-season tournaments, you have to pay to actually wrestle. So he'd go mow lawns. Like, what kid, 16, 17, wants to spend their weekend mowing lawns? It inspired me to want to coach him better, try to make him better. Flash forward to his senior year, I think he started off the year 30-0, didn't lose until the very last tournament. He got 4th, he lost twice. Went to CIF champion, went to Masters, made it to the semis, went on to state. Just the joy that you could see, like, he deserved every ounce of happiness that he deserved. He deserved every bit of credit that he could ever get. The second or third tournament we went to, he wasn't even seeded. In wrestling, there's a tournament bracket. They see the best 8 guys that they think are the best. They didn't think he'd place, so he wasn't even in the top 8. He went through. He beat the guy that they thought was gonna get 3rd, the guy that they thought was gonna get 6th, 4th, 2nd, and then 1st. No, 2nd and then 1st. He went and basically demolished everybody. And then after that, he was ranked 3rd in Southern California. He finally got the recognition that he deserved, and that's why it made us so happy. The fact that he earned every bit and ounce of credit that he deserved just made me happy. I think discipline is crucial in not just wrestling, in life. Wrestling wise, we try to make discipline the one thing that we can, because it's hard for a teenager to watch their weight. It's hard for a teenager to eat healthy. It's hard for them to run 5 miles after practice. It's hard for anybody that's grown to do anything like that, but have a teenager do it, that's extreme discipline. And just mold it into them at the beginning of the year, saying that no one gets good by doing stuff that we do in here. You have to do that extra. You have to go outside these doors and be able to work. That's discipline. You can't just take a day off and say, oh, it's okay. Someone's gonna outwork you. Someone wants it more than you. It's that simple. There's wrestlers that are state champs that act like they are nothing. They say, oh, I'm nothing. Reset the year. I need to earn it again. That's the type of mindset you need. That's the discipline you need to be able to go out and work while you want to be lazy. That's the most crucial thing you can, because it affects every aspect of your life outside of wrestling. When you get a career, when you go in school, it makes you a better person overall. It is the greatest therapy because it teaches you so much about adversity, and it saved my life.